The most popular orchid in the world is without doubt the moth orchid or Phalaenopsis. It wasn't always this way, but they are so good indoors and the flowers so outstanding that people can't resist buying them on impulse. If there was one common question that we get here at the Garden Gurus, it's how do I care for them and get the best flowering results? Now, the Phalaenopsis orchids don't just come with different flower colours, they also come in different sizes. These are what are known as dwarf varieties. A lot more compact, not quite as big. But one of the commonalities with all Phalaenopsis orchids is the flower. So you'll buy them at this stage just as the first flowers burst and there's lots and lots of buds to open. The thing with this is this could be providing you colour for months on end. They really are incredibly durable. They just keep opening new flowers up and eventually the old flowers will die and just drop off. But there are some tricks in ways that you can actually stimulate more and more flowering. And it's one of those things that the growers know best. Richard Deckers is a professional nurseryman growing moth orchids, and he knows these plants back to front. And Richard, one of the things people are not really sure about is how to care for them and get the very best results.
Look, the best thing is to liquid feed all the time.
Yep.
Obviously once a week roughly. Look at the roots. If the roots are grey, they need water.
Yep.
If they're green, they're full of water. So that's the best way to do it. High indirect light on a south-facing window is usually the best.
A lot of people have had their first Phalaenopsis. Some of them have progressed on because you fall in love with them. They get them home and they have a flower and it lasts for months at a time. But when it's finished, how do I stimulate new flowering?
So once it's finished flowering, you can cut about 1 centimetre above the node,
Yep.
here or here.
Yep.
And what that will do 9 out of 10 times, it will shoot a side stem and flower again.
Yep.
If that doesn't work, we cut it off at the base. And then in June, July, if you've got a patio area which is dry and free from frost, put it under there and that 8 weeks of cooling will induce another spike for September, October.
We've been using them, growing them in our living wall in the office at Guru Productions, and they are in their 3rd year of growth now. They flower in spring right through to late autumn, and then we let them rest over the winter. The cold of winter is the trigger for new flower production, and right now we are just seeing the new flower stems emerging. In spring, they'll be mass flowering, creating a wow factor for everybody who visits our office. How is this for wow factor? Phalaenopsis orchids, they are unbeatable. A really easy to care for plant. Now you know the secrets also to getting them to reflower when they have finished. These flowers will last for months. Now is the time to get it onto your office desk or possibly onto the kitchen table. But don't forget to do it in the next few weeks. This is when they're looking at their absolute best.